roster swaps, and they haven't really been able to settle on a squad for more than a couple weeks at a time.
Yeah, we'll certainly find out if they can. Now it's Team Liquid versus Renegades. We are in Champion Select right now. Going through the bans right quick. Rise taken away from Flaresz or Alex with a bit of flex, and Hakuho's Braum banned away as well. Dardoch's not getting his Nidalee though. Yep,
Nidalee definitely one of the champions where Dardoch actually did the highest percent of damage on his team, 31% of his team's damage in that Nidalee game where we all remember he took over completely, grabbing first blood and then snowballing. Not going to be an option here. Renegades continue with the theme of target banning Team Liquid as well from the red side. I do like this, you know, going straight at the new guys. Dardoch as well as Matt taking out their best champions. The Bard for Matt definitely has been his strongest champion as well. And Renegades will continue with the... Actually, they receive a target ban as well.
The Draven banned away from Freeze. Very convincing performance against Double Lift last week, but not quite able to turn it into a win.
With so many target bans, though, this is going to leave up a lot of those tier 1 picks, S tier that everyone is talking about right now. You know, Gangplank, there's actually too many to list right now that are still up. Poppy does find herself on the ban board here from Renegades, though. So we'll see what the priority is from Team Liquid.
Graves still available as well. I'm actually kind of intrigued to see where Matt's going to end up taking in this game, because he does have that Morgana and Alistar.
Alistar, Kalista, Corki, Graves, Gangplank. The list is extensive right now. Corki is going to be the first one off of the table. Maybe that will be the Alistar-Kalista combo. That's done wonders for Renegades in the past, and there's the other half.
Yeah, Kalista and Alistar just locked in. As you mentioned, very strong choices. Jhin being covered by Piglet. Bit of a call out to our previous game.
And what a game it was. Deserving of a call out.
Oh,
that was the most exciting game that we have had all year, definitely.
Some of those curtain calls, threading the needle for some of the picks. Really just super fun to watch. We'll see if Piglet has been practicing it. It'll be pretty surprising to see if he locks it in. But yeah, the Graves makes a lot more sense. It's locked in for Dardoch in the jungle. We've seen him take it before to great effect.
A huge bully in the jungle. Dardoch will have a very similar playstyle to when he is on Nidalee. Graves also fairly mobile, looks to invade the enemy champion, looks to find the enemy jungler in their own jungle. If you find them at a camp, it is just so easy to dash over and pop a Q into the wall. Plus, they're already taking damage from the camp, and counter jungling definitely going to be a high priority here.
Yeah, and Freeze, I like how he's responding to this, picking up Elise for Crumbzz to deal with that aggression. You know Graves is going to do a lot of damage, and we've often seen the Graves versus Elise matchup before.
Yeah, one of the cool things actually about Elise, you know, if the Spiderlings are trailing you, they will block Graves' bullets. Graves, the only marksman that can't shoot past the tiny Spiderlings, and it can save your life if you are on the run. But as you said, it is going to also kind of match the early aggression. Graves does usually win the 1 versus 1 unless Elise is able to not only land her cocoon and following burst, but also dodge at least half of Graves' Q. Meanwhile, the Malphite has had so much success. These are the two teams, by the way, that yesterday failed with Quinn split push into Malphite. So this time around, Renegades are going to grab the Malphite for themselves, and nobody's going to touch Quinn.
Yeah, seems like we're leaving that AD carry out of the board. So far, we're up to 4 AD carries in a single game. Hakuho's looking at that last pick for AlexIch in the mid lane. He's going to be taking a counter to Corki on FeniX on Corki. We'll have to see what he decides to go for.
Yeah, Team Liquid are locked into their triple AD carry plus pretty strong front line here. Thresh does enable a lot of plays as well. Definitely a lot of utility on the front line for Team Liquid. So it is that basic team fight comp here from Team Liquid. They do have a lot of extra poke damage from the Ezreal and Corki, especially if it is that blue Ezreal. You can add more utility to usually a sort of a lineup that doesn't have as much, but that LeBlanc you talk about loves picking off AD carries.
Yeah.
Will they be able to get the vision control? And will Alex even have the laning phase necessary to get to that point? Because he has struggled a bit so far this split as well.
We've seen how aggressive Corkis can be, and to continue on that vision just a little bit, Crumbzz loves the warding smite. Just getting that every single opportunity that he gets and going for deep vision. We're going to have to see if he continues with it in this game on that early game jungler release.
Yeah, because Renegades really can't afford to get behind. Even though there are 3 marksmen on the table and usually you're like, oh my goodness, a Malphite plus LeBlanc, these are great champions, solo laners that will have an experience advantage and they can blow up 80 carries really easily. If you get behind, those 80 carries build Maw and they build Sterix. You can't blow them up anymore, plus they still do a bunch of damage, and it snowballs out of control.
Yeah, it's such a difficult situation, but let us know who you think is going to take the win. Tweet us with @LOL Esports with the hashtag TLWin or hashtag RENWin, and let us know. We're going to check back in just a few minutes to find out what you think as we get ready. Renegades, can they take their 2nd win of the split here in Week 5?
All right. Double corrupting potions for the Team Liquid solo laners, and it is going to be that top Nautilus into Malphite. Tank versus tank action with extremely strong shields, both of them buffed by building health as well. So that will be a long, arduous battle up in the top lane. It's pretty funny that without jungler intervention, there will probably not be much going down there. However, with jungler intervention, there's plenty of damage in that case, and both the top laners can set up ganks fairly decently, at least post 6 for Malphite.
We'll have to see how that works out and if we are going to get any sort of early action. You know, we're kind of expecting it from Dardoch, who's come into the LCS with just such aggressive tendencies and such incredible mechanical plays.
Yeah, usually I'm very wary to invade an Elise, but with the state of Graves on 6.2, he's one of the few champions where you can actually go invade the Elise and not be as worried about running into her, even if she does, see you coming, because he can answer so well when Elise closes the gap and gets right in front of your face. Graves actually just does more damage, and it does get a little bit dicey.
And it will be interesting to see how the early game goes for Renegades. You know, you mentioned earlier that it is important for them not to fall behind. Well, just taking a look at the masteries for Liquid, they've got 3 Thunderlords. That's even Thunderlords on mat. They're going to try to look for a lot of early pressure, a lot of early damage.
While usually we see a lot of the 80 carries switching over to Fervor, Corki and Ezreal are 2 that still will go Thunderlords. Ezreal also can go Fervor, is fine with the Q as well, but that's personal preference I've heard for Ezreal players, and a decent amount of them do go Thunderlords. Quite a lot for that extra burst.
Alex trading it out a bit with FeniX. They're both chunked out to half, but Corrupting Potion for FeniX is going to give a little bit more. Flash used by Freeze.
Level 2, all in.
Right away, yeah. Freeze is going to dodge 1 Mystic Shot, and there goes the Thunderlord's proc. Piglet and Matt are still at full health.
Yeah, Hakuho burning through quite a few potions here. He took the brunt of that harass as they were able to stick it out inside the minion wave and grab their own level 2.
Very difficult for Renegades now in this bottom lane. Finally, they're going to get some sustain. Hakuho looks like he is going to... he's actually not taking the Triumphant Roar, so just relying on some passive regeneration for now.
Yeah, they're going to... He's got potions to chug through right now, plus you can get the Targon's heal. Decent enough for him. Without the headbutt pulve combo, Alistar really doesn't have any playmaking potential, and like we said, the bottom lane is what Renegades want to snowball. Maybe they throw all of their resources down here to try and get Freeze ahead. Crumbzz could make an early path down, does make an early path down. They're at the turret though, so probably not going to be a lot of Renegades initiation here. Just a little bit of safety for his duo.
With the wave cheating forward for Renegades, that means Crumbzz has to back away. Gonna take his Scuttle Crab. He's spotted out by a ward now in the mid lane. Dardoch knows that this is happening though.
And that actually is not a bad thing for Crumbzz to be seen by that ward. He had the Raptor buff, so it actually just means some more quick gold for him. Yes, it does give away his position, but really Team Liquid weren't too worried about his position in the first place, since they knew that he started top and both of their bottom side lanes were in a fairly safe position. So Crumbzz can just go right back to farming his jungle here, whereas Dardoch trying to make something happen, but he's going to go over the ward that Crumbzz previously placed.
Yeah, so there's the vision. Actually, here comes Crumbzz looking for a bit of a counter gank. Freeze backing up with Hakuho in between the minion waves.
So if Crumbzz had opted to just continue farming, he could have caught back up with Dardoch here. However, he went for the counter gank, pulled off of the blue, as you can see, just took the buff and then pulled off to try and go for that counter gank. just in case, but doesn't end up happening, and Dardoch will have that first step on him. A little bit of an experience lead can snowball very quickly with Graves, especially if Dardoch gets aggressive. Top laner is already pushing and can support him.
Yeah, so far Dardoch is content to stay in his own side of the jungle and farm it up on that Graves. In fact, goes for Swifties first.
Yeah, pretty common actually right now for junglers to rush that. Move speed equals playmaking ability for junglers, and it increases your threat tremendously as far as the early ganks are concerned.
Bit of damage finds FeniX. Alex doesn't want to pop
Hiding
back
behind
yet.
minions.
There's the chain. It does find a minion. Alex is low. There's a Valkyrie flash and barrier is used. It's one auto away. FeniX. Oh, and he gets out.
Superb play here from FeniX. Notice what he does. Stays in his ranged minions. He does not flinch when Alex goes for the all-in. Hides behind the minions. Chain ends up hitting one as FeniX is able to just hug them so closely. And that's the difference right there between getting the first blood and being the recipient of Alex. Okay, so here it is. That last minion had one auto left from another minion, but both sets of ranged minions were attacking the champion, so FeniX is able to avoid the chain and come out on top. Just ever so close, just a sliver right there. And that's going to be a big difference as far as the mid-game momentum. Corki in the mid lane does get to Trinity Force extremely quickly and times it very well with the arrival of the package.
Very important for Liquid. And you mentioned how important it was for Renegades to get ahead early. Now that that kill has gone over Alex, he's getting chunked out. Not level 6 just yet, and FeniX is starting to control this lane, even with the corrupting
Flash
potion.
was used.
Yeah, let's see if Crumbzz can pull this gank off, though. Hakuho's even here.
Interesting, because half of your gank was seen right there, and just half of it being seen is enough for FeniX to play passively. So sometimes you bring a bit too many members to the party. Regardless, though, Crumbzz going to try and return to the jungle and catch up in that farm. Has done so pretty quickly. The only difference really is that Dardoch's got a very early completion of that tracker's knife, and he will be able to get some deep vision down when he does go for the Graves invades, you know, trying to seek out that Elise. They can leave behind the vision and track Crumbzz.
Yeah, Dardoch already level 6, going for an invade right now. Crumbzz smites the Wolf Spirit and immediately spots it out while Alex trades with FeniX in the mid lane.
Yeah, definitely a very smart smite to go for the Wolf Spirit, get that Wisp whenever you are against an aggressive jungler.
Ooh, Crumbzz cheating towards the mid lane now. Oh, shows himself.
Yeah, didn't have any more camps to do, so made a swing at mid, but didn't get anything done. He can soak some experience, I guess.
It was more of a swing and a miss.
Yeah.
Shoots and misses. Meanwhile,
Swing and a
Matt,
soak.
oh, there's the hook onto Hakuho. Still only level 5. Freeze doesn't have base call either. He
Graves is
flashes
6-0.
forward. They're trying to get it. There's the teleport. It's too late. Dardoch gets the kill. His Flare's coming in anyway. He is, but it's dodged by Piglet. Flares now has to flash out of this one, and he's pulled back. Great knockup by Lourlo. They're joining the fight so quickly, and Team Liquid net 2 kills. Oh, and the hook finds Flares under the turret. He doesn't stand a chance.
Flaresz has had a rough last couple of games. Well, actually, just the last game. His first game in the LCS was quite good on the rise, but this is a huge snowball for Team Liquid. The bottom lane was the shining light, the hope for Renegades, and it just got crushed. Freeze didn't die,
Yeah,
but that's about it. You still lose all the CS, basically dying as far as the AD carry is concerned. Just don't give the ult over.
To an AD carry, missing CS is the equivalent of dying.
Miss a couple waves there. The tower goes down. Dragon goes down.
And then the lane's over, and then you're like, come on, jungler, what are you doing? Speaking of jungle, Dardoch taking Dragon number 1 for Team Liquid. Opening up.
Yeah, let's take another look at this, because this is the level 6 on Piglet as well as the jungler. These two marksmen have giant ultimates, both of them landing, and Matt goes down very quickly. Flaresz tries to grab Piglet, but very quick reaction there from Piglet. He was definitely expecting the Malphite ultimate immediately, so he was prepping his flash as well as the arcane shift. And that right there, Lourlo just landing the nice hook. Just all-around good play right there, nice accuracy, and earns them the extra kill. They were already going to grab the turret and probably Dragon afterwards, but They will take pretty much everything here except for
Rift
the
Herald.
Rift Herald, which Renegades are able to answer with. That'll be little something back in their pockets.
Yeah, the Void Scuttle now picked up by Renegades as a consolation prize. Now their blue buff is up, but it looks like Liquid want to contest. Here comes Dardoch and Matt as they're cheating forward with a handful of wards. They're actually going to take this, and Renegades have to let it go.
Yeah, it's kind of sad for Renegades and Freeze specifically that this bottom side was taken over because of that play. I mean, Freeze actually still has a CS lead over Piglet. Now it's almost gone because Piglet's pushing this giant wave up, but there is that big wave he'll be able to catch and try and even up these numbers. Team Liquid, though, so confident in the hold that they have over the blue buff side of Renegade's jungle that the deep wards come down, and Piglet and Matt continue to push here from range. Can he snag that cannon? You can tell Hakuho what he should be doing right now is standing in front of it. You will sacrifice whatever HP, you know, one Mystic shot's worth of damage of harass there to deny that cannon minion to the enemy, especially if you're Alistar, and you'll be able to heal up afterwards.
Hakuho not quite doing that, though. Just going to let it go as he catches the wave, trying to buy time for Freeze to let him get to that vital late-game Kalista that we just saw Wild Turtle do in game number 3 of today. And
well,
Renegades, they're holding on. They're only down about 2,000 gold after those 3 kills. It's 1 turret and 1 dragon.
Yeah.
But the concern for me, though, they're not ahead.
Yes, that's a concern.
We
Alex,
keep on hitting that.
maybe they can get Alex ahead here. Crumbzz coming in for the gank, but not going to be the case. Definitely a good ward. Pink ward there sees Dardoch. They know not to overchase that. And Alex still struggling here against FeniX, who continuously shoving him in on this Corki. Not having a difficult time here. Has the blue buff on top of it. And the Hex Drinker was rushed as well. So talking about those the Ma that I talked about in Champion Select is going to come even earlier than I thought. He's even delaying his Trinity Force just to ensure that there's no chance Alex bursts him and Alex picks up a straight kill and gets back in this lane. After that first blood, FeniX is just deciding that he wants an easy path to roll over this mid lane, shove him in, and looks like Renegades, the options are running out very quickly. I mean, the ghosties have been finished for Alex. Maybe they can find a pick, but even a single pick is not going to be enough. They would have to turn that into some turret money because they're definitely behind on the global gold and it's getting out of hand.
They're trying right now. Liquid in the top lane are looking for the tier 1. Renegades in the bottom will answer with their first of the game. Freeze does what he can to make sure that cannon minion goes down, but the top tier 1 is answered. That's 3-1 in turrets in the favor of Liquid, bringing them to 3,500 gold ahead. And as you mentioned, Renegades' options are limited.
Yep. With bottom lane, well, not necessarily losing out on CS. As we said, Freeze is actually still holding up and still farming despite all the attention down bottom and the turret going down. So that is their hope because with the early Hex Drinkers, probably Graves is going to build one. I'm expecting that Serrated Dirk to go into a Maw. That would be 2 AD carries that the rest of Renegades will have a very difficult time of bursting because the rest of Renegades are all magic damage. And it really is going to be up to Freeze to outdo all the other AD carries at once.
One AD carry to rule them all.
I guess if there's one to do it, Kalista would be it.
Runan's Hurricane, it's got 3 bolts.
There you go.
Per auto attack. Just get them all to line up nice and tightly.
And hope that the enemy ADs don't fire back. All right, they are going to switch lanes here, send Freeze up top, try and push this one in, but Liquid already answering, and they already have ward coverage in the area as well.
Oh, Crumbzz is on top of
Okay.
the board.
Oh
This is the cocoon onto Dardoch and an instant lantern from Matt. Plus, a hook. Matt might have gone a little bit too deep. Lourlo teleports to back him up to the ward just placed. Double bounce house. Finds Freeze. Flares, knocks up one and is forced to get out. He goes down. Piglet with the true shot. Kill. Lourlo's continuing to chase. There's the Fate's call, but they might not be done just yet.
Yeah, you gotta feel for Renegades, because even when you face check an Elise, Dardoch with the last sort of tiny sidestep there as he places the ward approaching the brush. Very intelligent approach right there. Knowing that if someone is in there, you know, if nobody's in there, it doesn't cost me anything to pull a tiny sidestep right as I get into ward range. if someone is in there, I avoid Cocoon and I don't die, and Elise doesn't get her combo, then Matt just ends up capitalizing on it, and everything goes Team Liquid's favor. So look at this little, right as he places it, knows that's the range. You just kind of have a feel as a jungler, you know, from playing Elise yourself. That's close enough, and man, the timing on that sidestep there, it was pre-planned, I'm expecting. It wasn't because, oh, I just placed the ward and instantly saw. I feel like that is a play pattern you just always go for. You don't ever want to straight face check a brush. But again, Matt there with the follow-up, and you know the result. They had to burn the Kalista ultimate as well, so Renegades really in a deep hole.
4-0, 4,000 gold in favor of Liquid as they continue to put pressure across the map, just keeping it calm. They're not giving Renegades any chance to get back into this game with the most minute of plays. Now, Rift Herald, as you saw, just got picked up, handed over to Dardoch. That's going to leave both the AD carry and the jungler happy with that, because he's both.
Yeah. Yep. All rolls. All right. Well, Dragon's back up. I guess they can stack it if they really feel like it. They don't. There's really not much pressure on Team Liquid right now. Package in the mid lane with FeniX constantly pressing in as well means that he could just overextend all he wants, draw multiple members over, and Dardoch's soloing the Dragon right now, so they stack that one up. And that's going to mean that turrets will be easier to take for them.
It really does look very methodical from Liquid, and it's different from yesterday where they were so overzealous to pull the trigger over and over, and now they're finally taking their time, playing it calmly, playing it right, and Renegades just can't seem to keep up. Crumbzz, oh, the
same
hook
push, same hook!
Crumbzz is caught, he's brought low, Repel gets him up, but he's got nowhere to go. Happy Valentine's.
Oh, what a heartbreaker for Crumbzz there. Dardoch 2v1!
Yeah, he's going deep right now. This is amazing play, but he's not quite able to get any more kills.
Oh, man. Well, League of Legends is also like a box of chocolates on Valentine's Day, I guess. Crumbzz didn't know what he was going to get, finds himself another death, and FeniX still pushing mid lane, so definitely know what he's still going to get there. There's honestly no potential for Alex to burst him down, and Trinity Force is completed now, so Renegades just reaching, grasping for straws here as Team Liquid claims some secondary turrets. Lourlo does miss a hook, so that's a small window that Renegades can at least escape with their lives this time.
Yeah. When the windows like that are opening where
you
we
jump
get
out
to
of
survive, then that's a dire situation. But yes, they do get away, giving up only that one kill on the Crumbzz. Slowly but surely, Liquid are rolling forward. Just pressing out a few wards. I'm pretty sure that blue trinket in the Direwolf camp has been there for the past few minutes as well. So Liquid are just continuing to pressure forward, and Crumbzz, it seems like he's trying to follow on freeze. He knows his win condition, get his AD carry safe.
Well, that is going to be a rough condition to follow up on, seeing as how Team Liquid have this big of a lead. Banner minions. Let's watch that fight. Even the Team Liquid banner minion wins the fight. Lourlo definitely going to tip that in his favor, actually. Takes the cash from it. Honestly, Team Liquid, just because their comp is so simple as well and they have this big of a lead, they can actually play relaxed. All they really need to do is group up and continue forcing. Talk about them rolling over Renegades. Renegades don't have very many options, save for some very big heroic plays to come out of a Kalista Alistar combo with a numbers advantage. Even with a great Kalista Alistar combo, they would need a numbers advantage. If it was even numbers, I feel like Team Liquid could even sustain through the multiple knockups of Malphite and Alistar and Kalista and still come out ahead.
And even gold aside, the experience advantage that Liquid have in this game, 2 levels ahead, well now 1 in the mid lane, 2 levels ahead in the jungle, 1 level on AD carries.
Yeah, I mean, I do like that early banner buy from Lourlo. Maybe he'll also go with Zerat Portal, just like saw in EU, and stack up some extra pushing items because they've got the lead to do it with.
Here comes the group. Matt is nowhere to be found. It would be 5v4 if Renegades pulled the trigger, but they just can't find an opening. Tower takes just a bit of damage. Now we've got 5 and 5. Dardoch even kind enough to secure that Raptor away from Renegades.
Some question marks going down, but I don't think they really care what the answer is. Team Liquid going to keep pressuring. Already blue buff on FeniX as well. Corki post level 11 already has the level 2 ult.
Dardoch, he's locked down. He's forced to jump out. Renegades pick up that kill. Piglet's kiting it around. Hakuho takes a big call. He finds one. Matt is going to go low. He flashes over the far side. Piglet and FeniX are going 2v4 right now. Alex trying to do what he can, dodges the cocoon. Piglet gets chunked out. He's still alive for now. He gets it, a double kill for FeniX and Liquid. They're turning it around from within the choke.
Renegades just couldn't take the win and walk away from it. They really wanted that to be their break open fight to actually turn it around. But when you're this far behind, you have to take steps, baby steps with your comeback. It's not going to be one team fight. You pick somebody off and then you come back wholeheartedly. You know, yes, it was a great opportunity for them, and it was a great choice by Renegades to take that pick. They bursted down Dardoch, but you have to be so wary of Lourlo walking up the river. He didn't even have to arrive in that team fight, and Team Liquid were able to turn it around. So definitely credit here. Crumbzz lands his cocoon, they get the burst off, Hakuho lands his combo, and they get the kill. Teleports both come in though, and Lourlo cancels his, so that's why they continue with this. And Matt gets focused down here. He's got flash though, so gets over the wall. At this point, it might be time to turn tail and run after the cocoon misses, but Crumbzz goes for the extra chase here, sees the burst on Piglet, and even though Crumbzz has no cooldowns left with which to execute him, really just wanted this to be their comeback play, their comeback team fight, and it ends up just going 1 kill for 1 kill, and they lose the turret in the end, so they actually lose out in total in that mid lane play.
Yeah, it was 2 for 1 in favor of Liquid in addition to that tier 2. Now Liquid have swung down to the last tier 2 of Renegades. 5 turrets to 1. Slowly but surely Renegades are falling further and further behind, and really it seemed like Renegades were desperate to make a play happen right there. We have to take this fight. We have to win this.
It was a great first step.
It was.
But they tripped on the second foot.
Liquid continuing to put pressure now, trying to put more and more stumbling blocks in Renegade's path, looking now for the next tier 2, and 380 carries are going to break it down awful quick. There's nothing that the Renegades can do. It drops.
All outers down for Renegades, and Dragon number 3 will be an easy pickup for Team Liquid. Now really the question to pose to Team Liquid is, would they rather siege up with their, well, they technically have 380 carries. Graves is fairly difficult to get into range of the turrets, I guess. You know, you do still have to watch out for the multiple knock-up combos. All right, let's see this play.
It's called Flash.
They got Dardoch again!
Dardoch is caught, but he's got Flash. He's finally going to drop. Alex gets the kill. Piglet looks for the zone. Lourlo has
They took a lot of damage, though, and they used a lot of abilities. Take the win and leave. Oh, the burn. Oh, I think I need a replay. Was that heal in range? Freeze just healed, but I don't think I saw Hakuho's life go up. It might have been out of range. Regardless, though, Renegades, they make another pick. They find Dardoch, they get the kill, and still lose one because of the Ezreal Mystic shot there, and Piglet had a burn on him. I think he might have had red buff there. Takes the
That's what I think, but he doesn't have it
kill
now.
Okay, well, let's take a look here. So here's the pick. Nice pick, and they were able to get him. Piglet did have red buff at the time. So, Thunderlord's proc, boom, gets another Mystic shot. Oh!
Action in the mid. Alex is looking for FeniX, and again, Renegades committing forward, desperate for a kill, not finding it.
There is the Zerat portal. He's doubled up. Just left. Because they got so far ahead, he didn't even bother completing Bomby Cinder into a Sunfire Cape. He's like, you know what? It's time to start the annoying items. And Zerat portal comes in, also banner. By the way, Zerat portals, you can place them anywhere, but there are very easy spots that are optimal to place them throughout the map. Always in the, basically the closest brush to the turret is the pretty much uncontested best place to put it. There are a couple of walls throughout the map. We'd have to pull up a mini map and do a little tutorial here if we really wanted to explain it.
Great League of Learning setting.
Actually, yeah, might do that one later. But yeah, basically the rule of thumb, you just want to tag that closest brush to the turret that you want to take.
I really like how Lourlo has just decided this lane, this is my lane. And just drop down the banner, drop down the portal, doing everything that he can to control it.
All right, well, I just went and checked. The heal actually did not heal Alistar, as I suspected. a little bit out of range there. And that's why Renegades just really can't catch a break, and the other kill did go through.
It is such a methodical game that we're seeing out of Liquid. They're so patient, pressuring down all the tier 2s, wait until we've got the portal and the banner, which is going to be answered on Flaresz as he's got a Raptor Cloak himself.
Yeah, it's Banner and Zerat aren't really great for counter pushing. They're kind of decent, but you still kind of need a presence there, especially since Renegades are so far behind. It's going to be difficult for them to answer the pressure bottom coupled with the vision control at Baron. Team Liquid can just continue to supply pink wards to this Baron area. As long as they keep their pink wards up, they can just constantly clear out whatever Renegades drop, look for a pick of their own, and just send Lourlo bottom to drop off the item actives. As soon as that Zerat portal is back up for him, he might head down there. As of right now, they might just power through the Baron, though. They've got plenty of damage.
Yeah, pings are going out. Alex
Miracle
is
steal here for
it.
Renegades? Question mark?
Yeah, Spooky Ghost's coming across. Half health on Baron. They're backing away as teleport is being used by Flaresz.
Yep, easy step one there for Team Liquid. Don't take any damage. They burn the teleport cooldown. Now they can reset Lourlo bottom, use that Zerat portal after he pushes up to that side brush, the Fnatic brush basically on Renegade's side. You drop the Zerat off there or behind a little curve in the jungle on blue side, and it will march all the way to that inhibitor turret, coupled with a banner that will apply enough pressure that someone has to be there and they can use the teleport advantage. Really just sort of textbook play now, since Team Liquid are so far ahead. It's pretty easy for them to follow the path to glory.
Yet another bannered siege minion is going to find its way in the bottom lane. It's answered by Flaresz. Siege versus Siege, but Flaresz has to abandon his own siege minion as Dardoch invades the jungle single-handedly, I might add.
Yeah, decent amount of Renegades' vision was put on the red quadrant of their own jungle here to try and give them some warning if Team Liquid do decide to bait the Baron. Team Liquid also still do have that option of trying to siege up, use Ezreal and Corki poke. Their front line is fairly beefy, and they should be able to flash or dash backwards out of the initiation of Renegades, but the options are open for them. They could do either.
I feel like we just saw this play, but it was the other way around.
Malphite attack speed slow is doing some work for him, though.
Really is. Ah! Double portal! Oh my gosh.
This is probably the most even fight that a 1 versus 1 Renegades Team Liquid fight could be right now, and still, Lourlo bullies him off with a brush, takes command of the Zerat brush.
Oh man, portal versus portal. Oh, Lourlo looks like he's going there. One more. Yeah. Oh man, he's even gonna dunk the last.
This
portal.
is League of Legends version of King of the Hill. Team Liquid win. Lourlo is the current champion. Who will challenge him next?
New game mode, 5 portals.
Try and push me off my portal. See what happens.
Voidling's now sieging the turret. As Freeze is going to catch some much-needed CS. He's still up over Piglet, now completed 2.5 items, so he's going to do some pretty solid damage, but needs Renegades to stay alive long enough to get him to do that. This is Dragon 4 now for Liquid. They secure it without contest. Renegades, though, are grouping up a little bit on the top side of the map, and they're going to recon.
Yeah, it's rough to come up with a game plan for Renegades right now. 10,000 gold behind. Dragon stacking, so number 4 has been taken, and number 5 looms in the near future. Crumbzz is going to strike back with a Gromp steal.
Uh-oh. Piglet has found a target.
Flash for Gromp steal. Suckers.
He does have the Gromp buff now. It could be all part of a master plan.
Hey, that's a good buff to have against 3 AD, or 3 marksmen.
They're going to take some damage.
I have trouble classifying. I can't even call Corki an AD carry anymore, even though still builds attack damage to carry.
Is this like the
he does so much magic
low
damage?
mobility
No, this
thing?
is nothing like that. That's actually something that I have a problem with. But this one.
Oh
not
no!
so much.
Alex jumps out of the way, and Crumbzz is the one who's caught. Oh boy, Hakuho is going to burn his unbreakable will to get away from the last one as Liquid chase forward over the wall. Freeze has to back out. Flaresz, though, he's going to wander off.
So yeah, is it an attack damage carry if you build attack damage to carry, but you do magic damage?
I'm not entirely, we'll have to ask him after this game. Now Liquid are starting up the Baron.
Philosophical discussion mid-Baron here from Team Liquid.
Philosophicobi. Oh, freeze. Trying to do what he can, clearing out a ward. True Shot Barrage finds him. Liquid don't want to take the chance with this smite. Even though Crumbzz is dead, Alex gets chunked out. And with that, Liquid are safe to secure it.
All right, well, Baron buff means this should be the end of the game here for Team Liquid as they move up towards inhibitor turrets. All right, Renegades, now is your time to shine. Rally caps on. Make me surprised.
We're going to find out they're sieging the inhibitor right now. Dardoch is caught in a stun, but they learned that lesson.
Right.
Crumbzz is caught by yet another hook, and they're going to pull Hakuho with a big knockup. Freeze is caught on the far side. Lourlo has got his sight sets on one person and one person only. And with that, it's going to be 3 members dead so far. Crumbzz is going to go down, and Liquid in the cleanest, most methodical ending. Look to end this game of the day. 30 minutes, they're going to take down this inhibitor. 5 versus 1.
I like those odds. Get him, Flaresz.
The Voidlings are actually going to do some work to the turrets here. Flaresz doesn't have ultimate, doesn't have flash. He's just got to watch while this the Nexus turret goes down. Trying to juggle aggro here. They've still got a few seconds before that wave catches up, and look at Flaresz. He's trying to stall the minion wave.
He's just waving his hands, song and dance here. Hey guys, don't go in the Nexus.
Dance party at the Baron.
It worked. Team Liquid decide they would like to lounge in their victory. They would like to enjoy this for a little bit while longer.
This is the sort of thing where you're on vacation and you know you have to leave, but you deliberately take a long time to pack your bags.
They had lost their last 2 games. They're just flexing right now. It feels good to be on the winning side. They go straight for Dardoch again. This time around, Dardoch has plenty of protection, though, with the rest of the team, and Team Liquid easily able to turn this around. FeniX just going straight into the middle with the Valkyrie on Corki. No fear for either AD carry. Piglet's tanking double Nexus turrets, trying to snipe a Malphite for the extra kill. And cleanup time.
Things looking very good for Liquid in this patient game. They've still got Baron buff for another minute and a half or so. And Renegades, they've lost their mid inhibitor, but Liquid are charging forward now in that bottom lane, about to group up.
Moz for all 3 AD carries. Well, Hex Drinker still for Dardoch, so he's got a little baby mom. Player's going to make a play, though.
Pulls the trigger onto FeniX, who's dropped low, but he's still alive. There's the Maw. It's a bounce house. FeniX is still alive. He goes over the wall and back to get the kill. It's a double kill now for Flaresz, while Piglet is going to drop him. And Hakuho is going to drop as well. 17-2 Liquid. Now it's Freeze, the sole survivor. He can't put up much more of a fight than Flaresz did earlier. The Nexus is exposed. Hook is even going to find Flaresz, and ace for Liquid, and they take the win 32 minutes in.